Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to episode 65 of the Happiness Hub, where we fill your heart, lift your mindset, and sprinkle a little more appreciation into your business and everyday life. I am your host, Arianna Rouse, gratitude consultant, and your personal guide on this amazing journey toward financial and time freedom, with gratitude as our secret sauce. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a regular listener, hey there, sunshine. I am so glad that you are here. Now, today's episode is one I think you will feel in your soul. It is cozy, gentle, and maybe a little confrontational in the best way. We are talking about the importance of self care in practicing gratitude because here is the truth: gratitude flourishes in an environment of care, and that starts with how you treat you. So let us set the scene. I want you to take a moment right now to just inhale deeply through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Uncurl those toes if they're all crunched up in your shoes. All right, we are ready. Let's talk about what it really means to care about yourself and why it makes your gratitude practice not just more effective, but more joyful. If you are anything like me, or honestly like most entrepreneurs, you are juggling all the things. You're wearing about 12 hats, showing up for clients, your family, your inbox, your laundry pile. But here's a question: when was the last time you showed up for yourself with the same consistency? We tend to treat self care like a spa day, a reward, a someday treat. But self care isn't a bonus, it is a baseline. It is the foundation that allows everything else: gratitude, connection, success to flow. And when we skip it, gratitude becomes harder to access. Not because we're ungrateful, but because we are running on empty. So let's get into a little brain magic. According to research by Dr. Robert Emmons and Dr. Michael McCullough, you might remember them because we've been talking about them for the last couple of episodes. People who regularly practice gratitude are more likely to feel better physically and emotionally, sleep better, be more compassionate, and even have stronger immune systems. But in follow-up studies, they noticed something fascinating. The effectiveness of gratitude practices increased when paired with physical self-care like sleep, hydration, and movement. So, your gratitude journal, even more powerful when you have had 8 hours of sleep and a glass of water. That is not woo-woo, that is neuroscience. So next time you are tempted to skip lunch and muscle through your task list, remember, you are actually supporting your gratitude and mindset work by stepping away. Let's revisit Arianna Huffington's story because it does hit home for so many high achieving women. At the height of building the Huffington Post, Arianna collapsed at her desk. Her body said no more, even though her mind was still in go mode. That moment changed her forever. She restructured her company, her habits, and her mission. She founded Thrive Global and began teaching others how to pursue success with well being, not in place of it. One of her core practices, gratitude journaling and nightly reflections. She says she used to believe that burnout was just the price of success, but now she knows better. And so do we. Now, let's talk about someone else who has made a bold move for her own well being. Simone Biles. During the Tokyo Olympics, she withdrew from events to prioritize her mental health. Let that sink in. This woman trained her entire life to compete, and she chose her mental health over medals. That is self care. That is strength. That is alignment. And it sent shockwaves through the world, reminding all of us that being the best doesn't mean sacrificing our own peace. After taking time off and using tools like therapy, rest, and gratitude, Simone returned to competition stronger, wiser, and more vocal than ever. She did not lose momentum by stepping back. She gained clarity, and that is what self care does. All right, let's do a little visual together. I want you to picture a beautiful teacup sitting on a saucer. Maybe it's a white teacup with designs of little flowers that are blue, tiny little green leaves, and little stems that kind of curl. Now imagine you are pouring tea into that cup. At first, it's fine, half full, then 3/4. Now, all the way to the brim. Then, whoops, you keep pouring. It overflows right into the saucer. Here is the lesson. You don't give from the cup. You give from your saucer. Your cup is for you. When it is full, that is when gratitude spills over. That is when you have overflown to share with your clients, your team, and your family. But if your cup is empty, you're scraping the bottom, and resentment, stress, and burnout move in very fast. So, how is your cup? You know I am all about practical joy. So here are 6 small, powerful things that you can do this week to fill your cup and reboot your gratitude. I'm going to invite you to block a white space moment each day. That's actually something that we're talking about in our little entrepreneur corner group, blocking white space. And 10 minutes of nothing, just you breathing, noticing, simply being. And I'm going to invite you to pair that with a physical ritual with a gratitude statement. Thank you, legs, for carrying me today as you moisturize. Or, I am so grateful for this breath as you stretch. And then try a gratitude walk. Walk around your neighborhood or office and name 5 things that you are grateful for out loud. Like your movement and gratitude help to do a mental reset. And an example of walking outside, I saw a turtle today. And I saw a bunny rabbit today. They were both in my backyard. How did they get there? Well, there's holes in the fence. But I was so not expecting, and that was so exciting. I was so grateful to see those. All right, here's another little tidbit for you. Keep a you did it list, or I did it. At the end of the day, jot down 3 things that you actually accomplished. Celebrate progress, not perfection. And I want you to practice micro boundaries. What does that mean? Say no to one thing this week that drains you. You're not being difficult. You are being intentional. And then lastly, I'm going to invite you to take a gratitude nap. I'm not kidding. Close your eyes, and as you drift off, mentally list what you are grateful for and nap like a champ. And you know what? As I'm flying tomorrow, I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of time to do some gratitude napping. All right, so what does self-care look like for me? I'm going to invite you to journal about that. And I've got some other questions for you to journal about. But what does self-care look like for you? Not what you see online, but what actually feels nourishing for you. And here's another prompt that you can journal about. When I'm rested and cared for, what kind of energy do I bring to my business? And then I've got a last one for you. Journal about am I pouring from my cup or from my saucer? So I'll repeat that one. Am I pouring from my cup or from my saucer? So here are the golden nuggets from today. Gratitude blooms when you feel safe, supported, and cared for. And that starts with you caring for you. If you want to attract abundance, energy, and more goodness into your life, start with what is on your plate. Start with how you speak to yourself. Start with one small act of kindness directed inward. And if this episode gave you something to think about, or better yet, something to feel, please subscribe, share it with a friend, and spread the joy. You can take a screenshot, take me on Instagram, or even send it out to your accountability partner and say, let's take a gratitude walk together this week. And if you haven't yet, make sure that you're following the Happiness Hub wherever you listen to podcasts. We've got more episodes coming that will boost your mindset and your momentum. So until next time, a hui ho, toodle pip, and aloha.